Hey there, lovely people. Welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. It has probably been over a month since I played the first series, and I've actually gotten a lot of positive traction on my channel. I promise you, I've really been meaning to get back to Higurashi because I've had a couple requests for it. It's just taken me some time because it's a lot of reading, and for my day job, all I do is I teach kids and I teach them to speak English, and it's like 6 or 7 hours of just me speaking at them. So I sat down today and I said, you know what? It's been long enough. We gotta get Higurashi out, and I'm really excited to try another chapter in this visual novel. So let's just get started. Now I believe this is like kind of like an anthology, so I think the timeline is gonna reset itself from our last chapter, which was Onikakushi. So this is the cotton drifting chapter. How was your taste of life in Hinamizawa? A curse or a conspiracy? I believe you have fully enjoyed everything and everyone seems suspicious. Here at last. It is no surprise attack, but a real direct incident. Please enjoy it. The difficulty is lower than Onikakushi, but extremely vicious. So I wonder if that's a translation thing. Give me 1 second. A little bit deafening. Because it said in the first chapter that it was going to be very difficult. I wonder if that just means like what happens in the story is going to be difficult to face up to, because we didn't really have any actions or anything. It wasn't really like a difficult gameplay, but maybe the story itself was supposed to be difficult to digest. But anyway, I digress. Let's get started, because I really like the first chapter. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Got it. Okay. Only for PS3 side. Got it. Got it. Okay. Also, thank you again to subscriber Nagels. Yeah, Nagels, who turned me on to the update that they did for all the Higurashi. So it's got updated artwork. It's got a little bit of voice acting, so it's going to be a little bit easier on my tender throat. And it's going to look better. So, I will not quench your thirst, for you seek the truth and cannot accept that. I will not quench your thirst, for the truth you desire does not exist. But I still want to quench your thirst, for... I missed it. For I am the one something. I'm excited. 1983, summer of the 58th year of the Showa era. Yeah, I've been wanting to get back into this. It's very time consuming, just the reading, but like emotionally I was very invested in the characters in the first game. Ooh, opening. I hope this is contains any spoilers about our story. I guess we're gonna find out. Cuties. Yeah, I really enjoyed the updated art style on the first chapter. Like, we played the original one in the first episode, and then we were able to get the update for it, and there's like a whole mod community that updates the game and gives it updated and better visuals, so really appreciated that. It makes it look a lot nicer. Some characters in here that I'm not recognizing from the series. Interesting. Like this girl with the green hair? I'm not sure who that is. It has been a very long time since I've watched the series. Maybe she's, I know they have a manga series, too, that it's based on. Maybe she's a manga exclusive character that they also put into the story. Could be. We're finding out together, people. That was a good opening. I'm excited. So I'm going to be, just FYI, before we get into this, I'm going to be running this series along with Deathmark, which is another visual style novel for the Nintendo Switch. So if you're interested in this, check out for Deathmark too, because I'll also have that up on my channel. So just a little bit of insider trivia for you. The chirping of birds served as my alarm clock. Huh? Wasn't today Sunday? Wasn't it basically my style to stay up late on Saturday and sleep through the morning on Sunday? Why was I waking up at this disgustingly wholesome hour? Back to sleep, back to sleep. I don't know what sleep is. I'm up every day at 1 o'clock for my job, so God bless you, Keiichi. Must be nice. We have a phone call. That moment the sound of my mother calling me from downstairs finally registered. Phone call? But it's so early on a Saturday. Sprang up out of bed abruptly and stampeded noisily down the stairs. So wake, I'll put him on right now, my mother informed the person on the other end of the line. It's Reina. We killed her in the last chapter. Sleepyhead. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. If you haven't seen the first playthrough of... Shit. If you haven't seen the first playthrough of Higurashi, go back and see what I'm referring to. Sorry. What's up calling so early in the morning? It was 11 o'clock. Guess you could still consider that the middle of the day. Nii-chan? Huh. Okay, ni hao I know is Chinese. I don't know Russian. Well, now that I'm awake, everybody. Did she mean all the club members?
Hey, hey.
Now, I wonder, because in the first chapter, Oni Kakushi, we were kind of introduced to all the characters and like the club and stuff. I wonder if all that is going to repeat for this chapter, or if we're going to jump right into the spooky stuff. That'd be interesting to find out. I guess we'll see together. Because I think each chapter is like kind of standalone, because they're going to have different events, the same characters, but different things happen. So I'm wondering. I had absolutely nothing planned that day. If I were to refuse Club President Mion's invitation, what are there fun ways to pass the time when I have? The usual place, okay. Club activities in town? Well, we could do them anywhere. Besides, since it was a new venue, there was no way this wasn't going to be intense. Yeah, so we're already... So in this series, we've already joined the club, we already know our friends. Like, in the first episode, we kind of, like, had to introduce ourselves to everybody, but in this one, I guess we're assuming that we know who all the characters are. So for those of you that are not sure, Keiichi is part of this club after school where he games with his friends, and they do, like, really intense competitions of board games, and then the loser has to get a penalty. So he's right now talking to two of the club members, Mion and Reina. FYI. A couple days ago was Friday's club activities. An uncomprising poker match. It was a fight to the death. Nobody held back. Nobody could tell who was in the lead or who was last until all the points were tallied. In the end, I won him by only one chip. Mion came in second. Damn it! To think if I hadn't squandered that one chip. Mion lamented thus, perhaps more so than the fact that she lost the match. Mion doesn't lose. That's why Mion only whined when she left the champion's throne slip through her fingers. That's why she was more frustrated than anybody over a close loss. So does she mean for today to be a grudge match? It's always a trap. After that, we exchanged years for a bit before hanging up the phone. As I headed back upstairs hastily to get the key to my bike, I bumped into my mother as she was carrying a futon down.
上機嫌みたいね。お出かけ？
そんなとこ。俺、みんなと街に遊びに行ってくるから。
行ってらっしゃい。車に気をつけるのよ。夕飯までには帰ってくるのよ。
Hey, Mom.
ちゃんと帰ってくるって。
Right. Saturday. Go play with my friends. There's no internet yet. I go play with my damn friends. After unlocking the chain from my bike in the garage, I reveled a bit in the resistance the slightly stiff pedal gave as I pushed on it. Alright, let's go. Set up on my bike, cutting through the refreshing morning air. I still love the music in this game. It's very peaceful. Sorry to keep you waiting. My mom wouldn't let me go. Wouldn't let me leave the house.
さとことリカちゃんは？
あの二人はここで待ち合わせるより直接街で合流した方が早いよ。
Oh, I see. If I remember correctly, Satoko and Rika-chan's houses were on the other side, past the
そう
school.
そう。街で部活ってどういうことだよ。まさかみんなで覆面をして日が暮れるまでにいくつ銀行が襲えるかっていうのじゃねえだろうな。
Probably not.
別にそれでもいいけど、それでも私は負けないけどね。兄ちゃんってね、なぜか現金輸送車の順路とか時間とかをいつもレナに教えてくれるんだよ。なんでだろうね。なんでだろうね。
What? Spun around with a serious look on my face and looked at Mion. Well, it certainly seemed possible that Mion was capable of doing that.
ミオン。
レナ、まだ何言ってんの。
I miss these characters.
みーちゃんごめんね。みーちゃんごめんね。
Two of them joked around. Their bright laughter was the best match for a beautiful day like
おい、
today.
二人とも。さとことリカちゃんが先に待ってるんだろ。じゃれてないで早く行こうぜ。
Round and around, fooling about like two fluttering butterflies. I earnestly wished I could just keep watching them like this. 5 of us together would be absolutely more fun.
そうだね。じゃあ行こうか。
目標は10億強奪。
Plunder 1
山分け
billion.
したらみんなで高飛びだぜ。
Wonder 1 billion. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Yen, right? Japanese currency is yen? I get it confused. Because Chinese currency is yuan. Y-U-A-N. I think it's Japanese yen. I'm wondering if that's in yen or US dollars. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. We're gonna keep going. 3 of us on our bikes headed over the gently sloping hill towards town. Accelerating hard, we crested the hill. The view expanded as Okinomiya Station came into sight. I occasionally came to the station here. Considering the amount of effort it takes to get through, it was quite a hassle. That's why I didn't know much about the area around the station, or Okinomiya itself for the matter. The street we were headed down today was of course unfamiliar to me as well. Going through the railway crossing, we headed past the south end of the
こ
station.
っち側は来るの初めてだな。
こっちにはね、ゲームセンターとかおもちゃ屋さんとかがいろいろあるの。みーちゃんが詳しいよ。
ゲーセンもあるのか。俺、前は結構通ってたからな。ゲーマーの血がうずくぜ。
Gamers, that's what I have. I have gamer's blood. My gamer's blood royals. It royals
ゲ
within
ーセ
me.
ン通いなんて。
That's gonna be my new phrase.
結構ね。
Going to an arcade, Kei-chan.
今度来た
We're
時に案内
delinquent?
してあげるよ。
Going to an arcade does not make you a
結構台
delinquent.
数を揃えたいい店があるから。
You should go to arcades all the time. Like the town of Okinomiya was Mion's stomping grounds. If I asked her, she could tell me a lot of things about it. Eventually, we came across the store with quite a few bikes parked in front of it. Was this the arcade? No, it was a smaller shop. Looking at the window display, it seemed like your everyday toy shop. But for almost 10 kids to be filing in and out of the store, they were doing almost too well for
ひょっと
themselves.
してあの店で今日何かイベントでもあるのか。
その通り。優勝賞金は5万円。
Ah, I was right.
5
50,000
万
yen.
円。なん
50,000.
だよそれ。慶一王国の5年分の GNP に匹敵するぞ。
Of the People's Republic of KG 5 times over. 2 cute figures messing about the front of the store noticed us and waved their hands. That's gonna be,
皆様方。
yeah, Satsuko and Rika.
お待ちしてましたよ。おはようございますな
Cute,
のです。
cute figures. Of course it was them.
おはようリカちゃん。さとこ、 警察が来る前にケリをつけるぞ。目標は10億強奪だ。
ケイイチさんの話がわかりませんわ。遅くなったかな。リカちゃんたちは今来たの？今日は早く終わったのでだいぶ待ってましたですよ。
そりゃあ悪いことしたわ。こっちはケイちゃんがなかなか来なくてさ。
It was my mom, guys. My mom wouldn't let me leave the house.
ケイイ
She's
チでは
hassling me.
仕方ありませんですよ。
Everyone just dog piles on Keiichi. Saying that, Rika-chan stretched up and began patting Mion's head. Hey, wait a minute. Are you solving everything by making me the bad guy? That's how it all was in the first episode, too. Onikakushi. Everyone may be the bad guy.
ケイイチさんでなくては務まらない大役でしたよ。
実に嫌な大役だな。こんなので丸く収まると思ったら大間違いだぞ。
Feeling slightly irritated, so I began to repeatedly smack Satsuko on the head. Smack, 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 smack.
ケイイチさんがぶった。
Crybaby Satoko. Crybaby Satoko, you're
ケイ
fine.
イチにいじめられてかわいそうかわいそうですよ。さとこちゃん泣いてる泣いてる。お持ち帰り。
No. No, Reina, that's kidnapping, remember?
レナお姉ちゃんがやっつけてあげ
We
るから
talked
ね。
about this. You can't just take someone. Wham! Reina ecstatically wiped the tears, which were probably fake, from Sadako's face, while Rika-chan gently patted mine as I lay sprawled on the ground. Who hit me? Yes, this is fine.
やっぱりこれが正しい丸い収め
Yes,
方
it was Reina.
前歯が欠ける前に新しいオチを探した方がいいと思うけどね。
Well then, upsy daisy. In any case, the greeting for today went well. Inside the toy shop, there were about 10 boys around the same age as me. Apparently they all knew Mion, and finding out that she had arrived, they greeted her with jeers a few at a time.
みーちゃんはこのおもちゃ屋さんの常連なの。だから友達もすっごく多いの。
おもちゃ屋の常連って何なんだ？
ほらケイイチさん、奥をご覧なさいませ。
Following Sadako's prompting, I took a look. There were chairs lined up at tables, almost like some sort of birthday party. I realized it immediately.
まさかこれって部活の会場なのか？
驚いたかい、ケイちゃん。私この店のおじさんと仲良しでね。たまに客寄せイベントってことでゲーム大会を開かせてもらってるんだよ。
Ah, expand his customer base, I see. What are we playing? We're playing Duel Monsters? Playing Yu-Gi-Ohs? Expand his customer base, I see. Meaning all the boys lining up the place for participants?
そうなの。いつもは5人だけど、今日はもっともっと大勢での部活なんだよ。
Time to duel. Reina was innocently happy about being able to play with so many people, but my expression grew noticeably stern.
ケイイチさんの考えてること手に取るように分かりましたよ。
ほう。じゃあ試しに行ってみようか。言うぞ。せーの。
These are all enemies. Satsuko's voice and mine blended together in harmony. I looked over at the participants. After all, the top prize was 50,000 yen. My eyes lit up like a flame.
ね、ケイちゃん。今日は楽しめそうでしょ。
まあな、ライバルが何人増えようが狙うものに変わりはないさ。
ライバル？はあ、ケイちゃん。クジラが水を飲むとき、今飲んだ水の中に何匹シラスが混じっていたか、いちいち数えてると思う
Said that in an unpleasant voice, laughing with the aggressive glint in her eyes reserved solely for club activities. Damn it, Mion. She's as serious as she can get today.
本気なのは私だけじゃないよ。ほら、リカちゃんを見てごらんよ。
Mion pointed, looking at where her finger directed me.
なんだありゃ。
Rika-chan was using those kinds of traits to soften up the group with an almost excessive pleasantness.
僕も頑張るのですよ。ファイト、王なのです。
Oh, she's putting on the cutesy act. Completely emasculated, the group joined Rika-chan in a cheer. The inside of the store had been consumed by the world of Rika-chan. Damn, she's already chomping at the bit.
今日は楽しくなりそうだね。頑張るよ。
Seeing that Reina was also unusually fired up by the large crowd. Hopping about and running around, she had entered entirely into cute mode. In Reina's case, the real fun starts when her tension gauge fills up. Her happy-go-lucky attitude belied the fact that this was the state in which she was most threatening. Mion was making small talk with some of the regular customers that she was acquainted with. It was like business as usual with her. Of course, if anybody thought that Mion looked ordinary, they were not qualified to be in our club. The shadow beneath her feet was exuding killer instinct, rising up like a chill wind. Slow your roll there, Keiichi. Getting a little bit serious.
ケイチさん知らないんですの？賞金の5万円、ミオンさんの自腹でしたよ。
What? Oh, she's upfronting the money. She's putting out the 50,000 yen all by herself? That moment, a dark miasma that warped Mion's surroundings began to appear.
何？ケイちゃん。私の顔に何かついてる？
Eep! A shiver crept up my spine. That Mion, cornering herself like that. She's putting out the demon lurking within her. Fine with me. Damn it, my knees are shaking like crazy. Before I realized that the store had filled up with even more people. However, the looks in their eyes weren't confrontational. They were looks of expectation and curiosity. They were the eyes of onlookers who were wondering what kind of match was going to occur, and who was going to win. Reina was already fully charged. Mortal laws and common sense held no power before the might of Reina and her Kyuta mode. They definitely didn't want to fight her if possible. Hi. So cute. Rika-chan, who was exuding way too much charm no matter how you looked at it, had already won over most of the onlookers to her side. Nonchalantly avoiding things had always been Rika-chan's creed, but for her to be blatantly laying out her machinations like this, something was definitely strange. Like Reina, she was somebody who I didn't want to fight if I could help it.
もちろん一番戦いたくないのはミオンさんですけどね。
何度か部活で奴と視線をくぐったが、今日ほどヤバいと思う日はないぜ。
ミオンさん、一昨日のポーカーで負けたの相当根に持ってるみたいでしたよ。
らしいな。つまり今日はミオンの復讐のための特設部隊ってわけだ。
Almost though she were psychic, Mion turned towards us. Her eyes silently conveyed the message, you guys just figured that out now? It wasn't just Mion. Both Reina and Rika-chan were more pumped up than they'd ever been. Yeah, one's gonna pop up today. Without a doubt, there'll be casualties. Alright, so let's team up with Satoko then. Yeah, let's team up, you and me.
いかがでございましょう。なんでしたらスマークに初戦をお手合わせ願えませんかしら。
そうしよっか。俺もエンジンがかかるまで鳴らしをし。
My spinal column shuddered like it had been struck by a bolt of lightning, and like a pillar of ice was being jammed into it, began to freeze. I can almost see the flames backlighting Satoko with their intensity. Even then, while Satoko was displaying a normal smile, it was cold and inhuman, almost as if it were a plastic mask.
そんなに俺を初戦で消したいかよ。さっきが隠せてないぜ。
あら、残念ですわね。ケイチさんにしてはなかなか慎重でしたよ。
Uncharacteristically cautious today. There's a lot of money on the line. We gotta be cautious. We get them dollars. Without a doubt, it was a trap. I don't know what she had up her sleeve, but I fought Satoko during the opening round. My loss would be more certain than if I went against Mion. So who are we gonna go up against? What game are we even playing? Has anyone told us the game we're playing? This black miasma permeated the inside of the store. Do y'all want to win that 50,000 yen prize that much? No, that's not right. No one's competing for the prize money, we're the casual participants. I was different. I had mistaken this just a way to fool around on a normal Sunday. It didn't matter when it was, or where it was, or who my opponents were. In our club, the goal was always the very top of the mountain. An intense flame that no strong winds could extinguish, hot enough to melt any steel, began to burn inside me. The fuse had been lit on this unprecedentedly intense club battle. It was then that the owner of the store told Mion in a lackadaisical voice that it was about time to begin. What game are we playing? Mion began with the formalities, standing in for the owner and explained the rules of today's tournament. You're only playing to win. There's no second or third place. That's the same rule as our club. There were 15 people participating. We were to split up into 5 groups via a draw, and each group would have 1 winner. Each winner in the first stage would advance to the next in order to compete in the final.
さて、各卓の競技方法なんだけど、これは各卓で好きに決めていいよ。
Oh, it's like a wild
こ
game.
のお
Got
店
it.
にあるゲームなら何を使っても OK。
The game is here in the shop. Anything goes. That's pretty cool. Running club mode DEFCON 1, I didn't let the small gap in the rules go
ミオン、
unnoticed.
質問いいか？みんな自分の得意ゲームを主張して決まらないんじゃねえのか？
はあ、そうだね。決まらないと始められないね。
Spectators also nodded along. It was only natural. There wasn't anybody who would simply cede to their opponent's suggestion.
紳士的に決めてほしいけど、そういう時は店のマスターが決めるってので。
It was a bet in a toy store after all. You'd expect the owner to referee. After that, Mion's rundown continued. It ended with the rule that any losing participants would have to buy the game they lost at. Rather nice proposition. Oh, wow. Okay. That is good. It's a good proposition for the store. Can make you a lot of money. First, we used a draw to split into 5 groups. Everybody lined up single file and began to draw tickets that the shop owner had prepared. It was my turn. Alright, time to draw. No matter who I was up against, I'd crush him. At that moment, Mion began to laugh with a hawkish gleam in her eye. Did she put us all in the same
当然わかっ
group?
てると思うけど、部活メンバーには一般参加者とは別に罰ゲームがつくからね。
そんなことだろうと思ったぞ。内容はなんだ？
勝者が敗者一人一人に1個命令。
Oh. Contrary to how simple it sounded, it was a terrifying eventuality, sort of which no one could predict. Damn you, Mion. Was she really planning on parading me around Hinabazawa in cat ears in a banana hammock with a tail attached or something? A banana hammock? Do you have one of those lying around, Keiichi? Is that like a separate chapter that we're gonna need to talk about? The look on Mion's face told me she wasn't gonna let me off that easy. Top of that, this time it wasn't just the person who finished last who had to submit to the penalty
敗
game.
者一人一人の命令。つまりビリでなくても罰ゲームってことだな。
そういうこ
勝者がない場合は部活メンバーが全員途中で脱落したらお流れか？
That's not gonna happen. I doubt it very highly.
と。ケイちゃん、脳みそは元気？
何？
Look at Mion's eyes became that of a lion baring its fangs.
我が部の再生映がどう間違ったらこんなひよこども相手に負けるっての？ケイちゃん、初戦で消えて私に恥かかさないでね。
Even so, I didn't feel threatened. The more into it my opponent was, the stronger I would
いい
become.
だろ。ただミオンにいじめられてたわけじゃないってことを見せてやるぜ。
会おうね。決勝で。
Results of the draw were enough to make you cry conspiracy. All the members of the club were nicely divvied up amongst the 5 stables. How did this happen when the draw was that random? The thought that I was already caught in Mion's puppet string made me feel uneasy. It was fine though. I'll crush all of your petty tricks. And where were my opponents? Everybody was headed to the table corresponding to the number on their ticket. These 2. Oh, these are my competition. Oh, these 2 kids? They're fodder. Sorry, guys. They look younger than me. Huh?
あれ？お前ら学校のクラスメートだよな。
あ、どうも。富田です。彼は岡村です。
And Okamura. Okamura greeted me by nodding his head. My opening round must be against my juniors from school. Just saying, but it seemed like a pretty easy matchup. Lucky. I'm going to destroy them without mercy.
それぞれに対戦ゲームを決めて始めてちょうだい。
Okay, so we had 15 and we split into 5 groups of 3. So these are the 2 people we're going against. Got it. With Mion's declaration, the inside of the store suddenly became lively. Everybody was yelling their favorite games at each other, trying to gain an advantage before they started. Even my two classmates, who seemed taciturn at first glance, began to fiercely insist on their own games as soon as the signal was given. Of course, I would kick these two suggestions aside. There was absolutely no reason to pick a game your opponent was good at.
悪いな。どれも知らないゲームなんだ。もっと知名度の高いやつにしてくれ。
Of course, they didn't agree to the games I suggested either. I could only smirk bitterly. Naturally, after 5 minutes, the table still couldn't agree on a game. Obeying the rules, we asked the store owner to decide on a game. Clearing his throat, the shop owner brought over a board game from the back of the store. It was a game called Billionaire. Quite the vintage we have here. When I think of it, if you lose, you have to buy this game. Damn shop owner. Is he using this competition to get rid of all the games he couldn't
これ
sell?
なら俺も知ってるよ。二人も知ってるよな。ルーレットを回してゴールを目指す。最後に生産して一番お金を持ってるやつが勝ちだ。
Oh, so like Monopoly. Oh, if we're playing a Monopoly-style game in this store, we'll be here for like 3 or 4 hours. Just in the first round. That time I already had the feeling of impending crisis. Wouldn't realize until the game progressed a bit.
1、2、3、4、出産祝いをもらう。
Celebrate the birth
全員
of
か
your
ら
child.
5000ドルもらう。
Oh, or maybe it's like life.
いいね。
Okay, I've built a bit of a lead. It sounds more like life.
1234567とボーナス銀行から10万ドルをもらう。
Ooh. What? Tables were turned in an instant?
123出世コースに進む。
Uh-oh. We're gonna get knocked out in the first round? Whoa, that's a good route. Seemed like only my piece was landing on the steady spaces? I had doubts as to why Mion didn't bring our board games for club activities, but the reason was laid bare to me before my eyes. That's right. I only realized it now. This game was completely based on luck. What could I possibly do to make sure I ended up in first place at the end? The ultimate outcome of this game was decided in a place beyond human hand. That sucks. That's right. Usually we play like card games or something that involves strategy. And we're kind of screwed. How are the other club members doing? My eyes naturally wandered off to the other tables. They're all winning, I'm sure. Mion's table was... what? Weren't doing anything? They still hadn't decided on the game? This naive idea existed to distract me from the most frightening possibility. Mion was lounging about, leisurely holding some juice she brought from the vending machine outside in one hand. When our eyes met, she gave me a look of ease. Couldn't be. She'd already finished? What game was it? That easily? It's probably too late to be concerned with at this point. Only 5 minutes to be started and her two opponents were already beyond recourse. They were sitting there, sunk over in disappointment, muttering to themselves, trying to figure out where they went wrong. For that, they'd find no answer. Is there any reason for their defeat other than they sat at the same table as Mion? What about Reina's table? Spectators were causing quite a commotion. It looked like their game was Karuta. Shop owner was apparently the one reading out the cards. I have no idea. Reina tended to dawdle and space out a lot. Wouldn't she have a hard time with this game?
じゃあ読みますよ。犬も歩けばくたびれる。
Bam! Same instant the shop owner began sending out the words, the card in question disappeared off the face of the table. No, the face of the earth. Impossible, where did it go? It was against Reina's cheek. She was rubbing it there. So cute. Looking at the card Reina was rubbing against her cheek, it was some anime-themed version of Karuta, with rather cute moe illustrations decorating the cards. Basically, it was a picture of a pretty dog girl with a slightly large chest, panting and half in tears as she was being pulled along on the chain. Those types of pictures, even I could play with godlike speed. Dirty. You're filthy, Keiichi. Of all the people to play that game, it had to be Reina. Entirely possible that her fingertips were on the verge of breaking the sound barrier.
決まったね。
Mion smiled coolly. Seeing no further reason to keep watching, she turned back.
レナ、勝ってもこのカルタちゃんと買うよ。お持ち帰り。
Taking them home. That's theft. That's theft, Reina. At the second the cards started being read out, bam, bam, such decisive sounds echoed. And then how about Satsuko? Oh, she was playing a rather orthodox game. Concentration. Judging from the distressed look on Satsuko's face, it seemed like she was struggling somehow. One of the main characteristics of concentration is that the pace of the game speeds up as it goes on. As the number of cards to memorize decreases, it becomes easier to match several pairs in a row. Hey, I guess it's like memory. Wouldn't be exaggeration to say that the first person to take over the flow of the match can run away as the winner. Cards still in play has decreased. Memorize the cards that have been turned over before, you should have a good chance to sweep the table at this point. Satoko probably knew the positions of all the remaining cards. However, her turn came a little too late. If her opponent followed up, the match would be decided. This guy, did he have the location of the remaining cards memorized? He was completely certain of his victory. Tension on his face relaxed. Whispered that in a bored manner as I turned my attention back to my own game. I spun the wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was a commotion at Sadako's table as the shout ran out. The other two at my table turned around in surprise. I didn't. After all, there really wasn't anything to be surprised about. The onlookers were confounded, most of them certain that the Ace of Hearts should have been there. No way, I must be seeing things. Must have been because I was excited. So assured in his victory, the distress of his defeat ran deep. Did she cheat? Is she a little cheater? That's how it is. If his opponent wasn't Satoko, then the Ace of Hearts certainly would have been there. What a fool. When you're up against Satoko, you can't let your guard down for a moment until the battle is over. By cheating? Her fine tone of voice reserved only for winners, Satoko called out to me. To the casual observer, it must have looked like she only eked out a victory. From my point of view, however, she was only playing around. The rules of winner and loser had already been decided, nothing more than child's play. The laughable part about it was that her opponent didn't know his role had already been assigned. Satoko was a trapper. Her true talent was never having one misfire. That's her character class, she's the trapper. Setting off only one trap was more than enough? Ain't that cool. And the other club members were winning one after the other with their own brand of play, only added to my impatience, my own lack of progress. What about Rika? Oh, there we go. Oh right, how was Rika-chan doing? How was our club's sly little fox doing? What the heck is that? Over in that corner, one at the table was decidedly different from the others. The game at Rika-chan's table was, you know, that battery-powered... the battery-powered fishing game? One where the little fish opened and closed their mouths? Oh, I remember that game. As they rotate on the platform, use a magnetic fishing rod to pick them up. That old thing. That was so cute. I remember that game when I was little. I haven't thought about that game in years. You plan on competing by seeing who can catch the most fish, but become an atmosphere you could hardly call competitive. She's so devious. I knew that Rika-chan had already charmed her opponents, along with the onlookers, before the match had even begun, but brilliantly played. That corner had become an informal meeting of the Rika Furude fan club. We're gonna be the only ones that lose? That's gonna suck.
Rika-chanが釣ってるのは多分魚じゃないと思うな。
Hearing that, she glanced over my way briefly. This is my way of getting serious. That's what I heard. Yeah, masterful technique.
前原さんの番ですよ。
ああ、すまんすまん。俺の番か。1、2、脱税の追徴課税。
Fined for tax evasion. Oh no. In contrast, my game, what an unseemly situation this was. Noticing the uneasiness creeping across my face, my companions came to see how I was doing. Okamura, who had wrung lots of money out of the elite course, began to count through a stack of white $100,000 bills.
98万ちょいくらいかな。
富田はどれくらいお金持ちですか？
僕は 88万ドル。まだまだ逆転できる位置だね。
Those two look like they would easily surpass $1 million. So how much do we have?
でケイちゃんはいくら持ってんの？
Mion's tone of voice was grim from the get-go. It was her disappointment and disgust as club president.
仕方ねえだろ。このゲームルーレット回す以外に何も作戦がないんだぜ。イカ様があるとしたらなんだよ。二人に目をつぶって100数えてもらってその隙にルーレットに細工でもするのか。そんなのできるわけねえだろ。
Rika-chan gently pet my head. Still, she wasn't too happy.
ブー様ですわね。一度は好敵手と思ったのに幻滅でしたよ。
I'm trying. We're trying with this game.
投げちゃ
It's
ダ
not
メだよ、ケ
easy.
イチ君。何か逆転があるはずだよ。頑張ろう。最後
Thank
まで
you.
頑張ろう。
Thank you, Reina, for believing in us. Like I said, how am I supposed to make a comeback with this game relying entirely on luck? Right, Mion? Mion's face, however, was almost unbelievably indifferent, like she was watching something completely unexciting. She then turned her back without saying a word.
ミオ
It was a pathetic voice that irked even
失
myself.
望したよ。みんな本気なのにケイちゃんだけは本気になってくれなかったね。
No, don't be disappointed at us.
本気ってなんだよ。気合でルーレットの目をコントロールしろってのかよ。そんなのできるかよ。
本気のケイちゃんならそのゲームでも開始10秒で蹴りをつけてたね。
みーちゃん、そんなに怒ることないよ。待ってよ。
Mion, in a bad mood, cast me aside and disappeared in the depths of the shop. I'm trying. Why is she mad at me? It's because it had become an awkward situation, but the spectators dispersed from around my table. Damn it. You're saying I'm not serious about this? You're saying if I were serious, I would have settled this game of chance in 10 seconds? Or serious? If I were serious, I was just praying for my victory. Believed in me. Did I betray their expectations? Was it because I wasn't serious? Ugh.
ゲーム進めます？
Two of them were timidly trying to resume play. I didn't respond to that. Table sunk into silence.
前原君は投了でいいかな。
The owner, thinking I was forfeiting, started to announce the cancellation of the game. At that moment, the demon inside me let loose a howl and awakened. I get it now, Mion. What it means for me to be serious. I'll show you. Mess it up, Keiichi. Flip the table. Kids. Bam. Hit my hands on their shoulders, speaking in a low voice after pulling them
富田
closer.
君、岡村君、取引しよう。俺を勝たせろ。
Two of them, not immediately understanding what I had just said or the meaning behind it, were momentarily confused.
前原さん、暴力はなしですよ。ちゃんとゲームで勝敗を。
話は最後まで聞け。
Are we gonna offer them like a date with Rika or with
お前ら
Satsuko?
の望みは何だ。優勝して5万円か。
そりゃそうですよ。5万なんて大金。二度とないチャンスですよ。
仮に優勝したとして、お前らその5万で何をする？どんな楽しみ方をする？
Kun considered it briefly.
新しいゲーム買うとか、お菓子とか、ジュースとか。
小せえ小せえ。
That's petty.
バカかお前ら。
じゃあ前原さんが勝ったらどんな楽しみ方があるって言うんですか？
俺か？そこが本題だ。今から言うことを黙って聞け。
Club members have a penalty game separate from the casual participants. If we lose, we have to obey a single command from the winner. From another point of view, the winner earns the prize of being able to order the other club members around. We're gonna be like, hey,
まず富田
do you want to go on a date
君
with one
は
of the
外
girls?
萌えだよな。
Mm-hmm.
否定すんな。そして岡村君、君は理科萌えだな。
Mm-hmm.
赤くなるな。
I drew the two of them, red-faced and conscious of whether anybody else heard what I just said, even closer.
萌え、この水仙男のロマン。例えるなら永遠にたどり着けないエデンの園。だけど目指すんだろ。それは俺たちのハートに熱い魂が燃え
Scream
よ
for
と
Moe.
叫ぶからだ。
That sensitive age where you couldn't say you liked the girl you liked. Understanding that gave me all the more
俺
power.
が優勝したら富田君佐藤君を一日首輪付きで君の妹にしてあげよう
A red fountain spewed from both of Tomita-kun's nostrils. I don't like the fact that they use the blood. The last time we saw the blood is when the murders happened in the last episode. I was like, oh my god, did this kid just die? No, he's spewing blood from his nostrils. Because he's so
そ
excited.
して岡村君君には猫耳リカちゃんに手綱をつけてお散歩させてあげよう
Ah, boys are so gross. Psh, blood erupted from the vein in Okumura. Erupted from the vein in his forehead? Do you need to see someone about that?
そんな
歌えるなお前たちは俺に無理やり付き合わされたことにすればいいんだ前原先輩のわがままの犠牲者なだけいやいや
You're
でい
simply
いんだよ
sacrifices to my
お
whims.
前たちの胸の内は全部分かってる
This chapter is starting off pretty good. I like this. I suddenly lowered the tone of my
俺は
voice.
灰色の学校生活を送ってきたそれがどんなにつまらなく人生の大切な時間を浪費したことになるのかだから後輩のお前たちにはそんな時間を過ごしてほしくないんだよ自分に素直になれ夢を追えそして叶えろ俺が叶えてやる
Okay. So was this moment the so it was this moment that the values of men bridged generations. Did I ever have a mentor who ever spoke my mind for me so strongly? Never. There was no way there was. That's because in a man's lifetime, he'll only have 3 fateful encounters. That valuable first time was being experienced right this moment with these 2. You're so gross, Keiichi. I'm sorry.
じゃあいい
That's a
な
gross way to win.
行くぞせーの
Such an assertive declaration in the game's ending that everybody in the store turned and looked. It had been less than 3 minutes since I was on the verge of forfeit, and all the spectators were certain of my loss.
ケイチさんどうなりましたの勝敗
You don't want to know, Sadako. Something gross is gonna happen to you if I win. I hope we don't win.
俺の完全勝利だ
なんですってあの状況どうやってひっくり返しましたの
家庭なんか必要ないよな男と男の決着だよ
That
な
was a gentleman's agreement.
みんな
Two of them, stifling tears of gratitude, answered strongly from the bottom of their hearts. Exactly what kind of miracle occurred here during those 3 minutes the spectators all looked away from my utter disadvantage? So gross.
やったよケイチくんわーい
Spectators were puzzled at how I was able to so quickly overcome that hopeless situation. That guy, is he able to control the spinner wheel with his eyes or something? It's a miracle. What devilry is this? He's in cahoots with that Mion, you know? There's no doubt he had some strange trick up his sleeve. Devil! It's the devil's magic! To the crowd, who couldn't help but be excited out of the corner of my eye. Now fully awakened and in battle mode, I let out a derisive laugh.
これが俺の本気ってことだよミオ
遅えっての
Baring our fangs at each other, we laughed together in a most unsightly fashion.
じゃあこれで部活メンバーが全員1回戦突破ですわねということは今度はみんなで対決だね対決だね僕はもう賞金で買うものを決めていますですもちろんですわね
Satoko and Reina smiled, sneered at each other. These guys. They really think they can win against Keiichi Maibara when he gets serious.
ミオ失敗だったなお前はさっき俺に助言すべきじゃなかったぜ
I really hope we don't win.
ひよこが私に勝つなんて100万光年早いって
ミオ光年は距離の単位だぞ
Oh, she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed.
どうするのみーちゃん5人でどう戦うのかな
さーてこれだけ豪華な面々が揃ったんだから今日という日を急ぐのが惜しいよ
みーの言ってる意味が難しいです
まさかてめえ
What game are we gonna play? Mion's hair flowed elegantly, almost like a cape. She turned her back to the table.
今日の勝負を部長園崎美音が預からせてもらうよ。勝負方法と日時は未定。ギャラリーは多い方がいいね。
More spectators the
南
better.
沢も沖宮も全ての人間の目の前、これ以上ないくらい徹底的な決着をつけてあげるよ。
Oh, we're not continuing today? We're coming back to
い
it?
ける気ですの？いくらミオさんでも卑怯ですことよ。
ひよこが生かされたことにまだ気づかんか。
A vat of aura billowing out of Mion's body formed a barrier, stopping Sadako's advance.
また会いましょう。せいぜい首でも洗っとくことね。
Okay, I guess we're not playing another game right now. With a shrill laugh, Mion left the store. A moment of silence, the crowd erupted into cheers. When will they resume the contest? Mion's serious. The other members did great too. That new guy, Maibara, he's got some strange power. He turned the tables in an instant. Yeah, we did.
絶対優勝してくださいよ。おう、ミオンなんざ逆さにしてサンズの川に
Took someone
叩き
like
込んでや
Mion
る
head
ぜ。
first. Ha! We'll see. I really hope we don't win. Part of the crowd that had apparently overheard the covenant between Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, and myself erupted into a cheer again. Mion's going to win anyways. She's the undefeated empress. Bidding on Mion. No, it's going to be Reina with that ungodly speed. Satoko the trap artist. Rika the siren. Maybe a long shot, but it'll be Maibara. However, right now I had no ear for those cheerful voices. We have like our own little fanboys now. Setting the stage for this huge match and then running away like that. I wasn't going to forgive Mion. Outside of the store, Mion was getting on her bike as the shop owner was seeing her off.
逃げるなミオン。部長なら逃げるな。俺と戦え。
Fight me! Get back here, you coward!
ごめんケイちゃん。私これからバイト。
Oh. Huh? You had seen a sketch comedy show, my legs slipped in opposite directions until I was doing the splits.
ケイチくんがゲームしてる間にみーちゃんに電話があったの。残念だね。
Oh,
せっ
well
か
then
く
that's
暑くなっ
okay.
てきたのについてないよ。おじさんの店でさ、特売にお客が殺到してるらしくてさ、レジが足りないから助けてって電話があったんだよ。
Okay, well that's not so
おじさんっ
underhanded
て
then.
なんだ？スーパーの店長でもやってんのか？
ささやかなお店だけどね。でもさ、特売やれば主婦が殺到するの常識で読めないのかね。店員足りないのに卵1パックを一人様1点限り10円なんてやるな。
I'm a little surprised. I never think that this was the club president exuding such a dark aura inside the store just a short time ago. It's the usual Mion right now, almost exasperatingly so. Exasperatingly so. My shoulder slumped. That's right. Club mode was over now. But it was really heated today. It was really fun. Damn Mion. He knows how to fire people up.
私こそ頭がジンジンしびれるくらい燃え上がったよ。特にケイちゃん、怖かった。あの場で本当に噛み殺されるんじゃないかって思ったね。
お仕事だから仕
Fight
方
me!
ない
Fight
けど、
me!
本当に残念だね。
Yeah, it's a bummer. We were having fun.
この続き本当にやりたいですわね。いつがいいでございましょう。綿流しのお祭りでやるのなんていいです
The
よ。
Watanagashi Festival.
渡辺祭五強爆闘か。
The content drifting 5-demon firefight. Yeah, the last time we had the Watanagashi, though, that's when shit turned
そう
south.
だね。考えておくかな。
Right now, that's what were Rika-chan and Mion talking about. Watanagashi Festival. Cotton drifting 5-demon what?
私、週刊漫画みたいないい加減なノリ大好きなんだ。こんな痛快な部活が近いうちにまたできるといいね。
She laughed with a smile that made you feel refreshed just looking at it. At that moment, the shop owner came out carrying a paper bag. I wonder what it is. Is he giving it to us?
今日はみんな本当にありがとう。おかげでイベントは大盛り上がりだったよ。大したものじゃないけど、これ今日のおだちに。
あ、吉郎おじさん。私にはないの？おだちん。
あら、 出てきましたわよ。
Sachiko and Riko-chan opened up the bag. There were cute little stuffed animals inside.
わあ、これかわいい。
They're so
お持ち
cute.
帰りしていいの？本当に？
ってことは俺のもかな。なんだかやたら可愛いのが出てきたぞ。
It was a stuffed toy wearing a beautiful dress. One you'd use to play house. Sure, as a teenage boy, I would love to go home and play with this bear in a dress. Rina's eyes were glued to my stuffed doll. Sachiko was the same, and Rika-chan too?
ケイちゃんには一番似合わないのが出てきちゃったね。
なんつうのか、プリティっていうかキュートっていうか可愛いのは認めるんだが、着せ替え人形はちょっとな。
ケイちゃんが持ってたら確実に明日から
Yeah,
あれな趣味の
that
人
would make us a little bit weird, I think. Definitely, yeah. Min didn't have to go that far. It wasn't something a guy like me should be carrying around. Min was the only one who hadn't received a present, so I thought about giving it to her. However, after briefly considering, I gave it to Reina instead. Oh.
くれるの？レナに？ありがとう。
保身のためだよ。レナにあげないと夜道が怖い。
Reina walking the streets at night would be scary, because Reina would come up behind us and be like, cute!
違いない
I
違い
want
ない
it! How cute!
ミオンにあげようかと思ったけど、ちょっと違うよな。
へへへへ分かってるじゃない。私さ、どうして男に生まれなかったのかなって思う時あるよ。
女でよかったな。男だったらもうとっくに殺してる。
I would have killed you already.
今のうちに殺しといた方がいいよ。
We're joking about murder, and in the last series, people got
じゃないと
killed.
ケイちゃん、死んで後悔することになるから。
Oh. Oh, how fun. Mion laughed after saying such an ominous line. Everybody laughed heartily along with
来
her.
世では神様に男にしてもらえるように頼めよ。俺も男にしてもらうから。
そしたらケイちゃんと組んで軽く全国制覇から始めようかね。
Mion-chan, if you don't get going soon, Shopowner told her meekly. A lot of us looked like we were having a lot of fun, so it must have been hard to put a wet blanket on things.
じゃあね。今日は最高に楽しかった。またねみんな。明日学校で。
バイト遅刻すんなよ。
Everybody waved their hands and watched as Mion left. Before I knew it, the sun was already setting, and the breeze carried a hint of a chill.
もうちょっと街で遊んでいく？それとも帰るかな？暗くなると道が怖いですよ。
Yeah, let's not hang out in town after dark.
では引き上げ時ですわね。
This place might not be so safe.
今日は本当にいっぱい騒ぎましたわ。
そうだな。よっしゃ、帰ろうぜ。
Wind blew gently, as if to cool down those of us flushed with enthusiasm. The road back to Hinamizawa was long, but I didn't really mind.
そうそう、レナさん圧勝でございましたわね。
レナがああなっちゃ悪いけど誰にも勝ち目はないな。
だってすごい可愛いカルタだったんだもの。ほら、買っちゃったんだよ。はう。
She brought the pervy cards.
リカも相変わらずですわ。リカにかかれば男どもなんて赤子の手をひねるようなものですわね。楽勝だったのです。
どこまで計算づくでどこまでが天然なのか。リカちゃんの行く末が実に怖いな。
さとこちゃんだってすごかったね。最後は大盛り上がりだったよ。褒められるようなゲームではありませんでしたよ。
I'm assuming she must have cheated. How else do you cheat at memory? Like, unless she moved the cards around. She said she set a trap.
ケイチも最後はとうとう牙を剥きましたです。
まあな。俺は追い詰められてからが強い男なんだ。
富田さんたちなんだかすっごく応援してましたけど、何ですかしらね。
You don't want to know what I told them. It's gross.
富田と岡村に何か約束してましたです。きっと内緒話なのですよ。内緒話。
男には時に戦いを通じてしか語り合えないものがあるんだよ。
Gross. Desperately laughing, I frantically tried to avoid the subject. After that, everybody continued to praise each other for how they defeated their opponents and reflected on how fun today was.
見てごらんなさいませ。夕日が綺麗でございますわよ。
Satoko, getting even more excited, pointed, waving where her finger indicated was an immense sunset, casting even longer shadows on us on our bikes. The cries of the Higurashi were gentle and very comforting. Hence the title, Higurashi When They Cry. At the end of our first chapter? Oh, how sweet. I can't wait till the Watanagashi festival when things get messed up. That's always the best. Who's Mion's uncle? We got a new tip. And we got an achievement, Game Masters. Okay. Who's Mion's uncle? I guess the one that she went to work for her part-time job?
ごめん。今日はさ、急におじさんの店のバイトが入っちゃってさ。
なんだなんだ。じゃあ今日の部活はお流れってわけか。
いや申し訳ない。
Mion put her hands together in apology and grinned.
そんなに部活がやりたかったら、おじさん抜きでやってもいいけど。部活ロッカーにゲームがいっぱい入ってるからさ。どれか適当に選んで。
Club Locker was the transdimensional space from which Mion pulled games whenever we met for club activities. Wondered how many so freaking games could be stored in the locker. It was even smaller than the one with the cleaning supplies in it. Inside those games, it was also a cornucopia of suspicious objects. Question mark costumes, or punishment games. Laying them up all on the floor in order to sort them, they would definitely fill the entire classroom.
やめとく。俺がいじったらロッカーの中身がドサドサって溢れてきそうな気がするよ。
そうだね。素人は手を出さない方が無難かもしれない。
Mion gave a hearty laugh, implying that the only one who could do so was the club president.
みー、先生が体育倉庫の鍵を探してますですよ。心当たりはありませんですか？
あれ？私職員室に返さなかったっけ？
Mion said, feeling about in her pocket. Judging by her expression, she must have planned on returning it, but it was still in her pocket.
ほら、やっぱりミオンさんですのよ。私、絶対そうだと確信してたでございますわ。僕も大正解なのですよ。サトコと一緒に大正解なのです。
Giggling, Satoko and Rika-chan clapped their hands together in celebration.
やかましい。
Slap, clap. Mion elbowed Satoko and Rika-chan in their heads, then headed for the teacher's
あ、
lounge.
そうだ。二人とも聞いたか。今日はミオンバイトがあるから部活はお休みだとさ。
あら、そうなんですの？それはつまらない
So
でござい
very
ますよ
droll.
ね。
How droll of her.
みー、
Two of them made disappointed faces. Whatever anyone said, Mion's club was always the number one thing I looked forward to when I was going to school. It wasn't hard to agree with their melancholic expressions after hearing it wouldn't be happening
ミ
today.
オンってバイトをやってるんだよな。あいつ一体何のバイトをしてるんだ？
Whenever Mion canceled club, it was usually because of her job. However, it also didn't seem like she went there every day. She would go 2 or 3 days in a row, then not go at all for a while. Sounded like a pretty damn random part-time job.
別に決まったお店でお勤めをしてるわけではないのです。
決まってないってことは、じゃあ
She's
飛
a
躍って
day
こと
laborer?
なのか？
I don't think she's a day laborer, honey. Mion, wearing socks and a helmet, sweating to death in a factory? Couldn't imagine such a thing.
ミオンさんはおじさんの店にお休みが出たりすると応援に駆けつける便利屋さんなんだそうですわ。
Okay.
ああ、なるほどな。そういえばおじさんのとこでバイトなんて話、前にも聞いたことがあるような気がする。
お店を持ってるおじさんがいっぱいいるので、みんな
Oh, like the
なの
toy
です。
the toy shop owner she called Uncle too. Okay. Got it. She had a lot of uncles who own shops. A lot of them?
あら、ケイイチさんはご存知ありませんの？沖宮にはミオンさんの親戚の方がやってるお店って結構いっぱいありますのよ。
へえ、それは知らなかった。そんなにいろいろあるのか？
八百屋さんとかラーメン屋さんとか他にもまだまだあの部活をやったおもちゃ屋さんもそうなんですよ。
Oh yeah, right. So the toy store too. Okay. I was dumbfounded. That's
ミ
amazing.
オンの一族って何気に詳細があるんじゃないのか。それだけいろいろあるってのも。
他にも金融業とか不動産業とか
Wait,
アパレル産業
A
とか
land
ア
shark?
ミューズメント産
What
業
is a
とか
land shark?
いろいろやってると言ってますで
A
す。
strip club and a brothel. I'm saying is they do lots of things. I know a loan shark. I've never heard of a land shark before. Unless I'm just being very dense. Yeah, a couple of weird things came up that time, but still, I can tell it was pretty extensive.
あいつに物を借りると妙に返却期限にうるさいのは金融業者さんの血が流れてるからか。納得納得。
ミーに100億長者ゲームを借りたことをコロリと忘れてしまったらリアルで100億長者ゲームをプレイさせたるどと凄まれましたのです。
Mika-chan being sold in the entertainment industry to pay off her debts. Ah, crap, my nosebleed. Come on, dude. Rika is like, she's gotta be no more than like 7 or 8. Come on.
リアルに100億長者ゲームをプレイなんて
Katie's so
なか
gross.
なかに愉快そうですわね。
I quite throw them on the ground. Huh? Doesn't really get it, does she? Oh, she doesn't understand she's gonna be sold into like sex trafficking or like to like a entertainment business to like take off her clothes for money. Weirdly, she seems so unspoiled. Rika-chan and I gave her a pat on the head.
なぜ撫でられるんですか？
She thinks, oh, I get it. She thinks that Mion's gonna throw her and she's going to die just by being thrown. She doesn't get the red light district part. I get it. Took me a second. Satoko was lost in confusion, but she seemed to understand she was being made fun of. So now, we never really figured out the hints in the last series we did, Onikakushi. I wonder if, like, the dialogue in the game is affected, or if there's any changes if we, say, didn't look at the tips. I feel like the tips are probably just... Oh, look, she's opening her little eyes. I feel like the tips are probably just, like, a way for us to be involved more in the story and the characters. That way, when stuff happens to them, they're probably, like, we're a lot more affected by it. Like, when someone dies or is murdered or something tragic happens, we're probably more invested in the story. I would think. Could be wrong. But anyway, so we're going to save up here. Boop. Yeah, we've been playing for over an hour now, so I think we'll pause this for today. So, this has been Higurashi When They Cry, episode 1 of our Watanagashi chapter. I'm going to try to have at least one video of this up every week. I don't know if that's going to be feasible, because, like, we've just done, like, an hour of reading, and my voice is a little bit raw, and I still have other series and stuff going on. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be running this series right now, and we're running Deathmark, and they're both visual novels, so I think that we can probably do, like, swap them off, like, maybe one a day. So that's going to be my goal, is to get at least one of these up every week, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, if you like this video, give me a like and subscribe for more like this, and I will have more Higurashi up for you when I can next week. I appreciate y'all watching, and I will catch you for the next one. Peace!